What's going on, guys? So I decided to change up the plans a little bit. I know I said earlier on today I was going to address and outline the entire $2.5 trillion American job plan that President Biden unveiled today. However, I'm still kind of working through that, trying to pull in some more kind of quotes from some other lawmakers. But there's other major headlines that are coming out right now, so I wanted to address that because I think those are a little bit more important at this point. So here's what we're going to address in this video. First, I want to address how we are getting some information regarding the unemployment income rebate checks. That is extremely important. I know a lot of you guys are currently waiting, trying to get some answers as to, hey, I filed my income taxes. However, I did it before the American Rescue Plan passed, and I didn't get the money back from my unemployment income. So have answers there. Have some news regarding the $1,400 stimulus checks for Social Security recipients, which is great because we need more information on that. Because right now, so many millions of people, man, you might be one of them, are waiting for your $1,400 stimulus check. There's also extremely important news regarding the infrastructure bill, which I think a lot of you guys are pretty much waiting on to see, will this pass? And what will be in it for me? That's what everybody's wanting to know. So I'm going to address that. And then we have some breaking news on a new lockdown that is happening right now. So let's first address the $1,400 stimulus checks. Many people are still very frustrated. And it's insane that it was, I'm pretty sure the bill passed about 20 days ago. Tomorrow is going to be 3 weeks since the American Rescue Plan, the $1.9 trillion stimulus package, passed. And there's still, 30 million Americans that are still waiting on this $1,400 stimulus check. And this is what Congress or Democrats were saying was going to be immediate relief to the American people. The problem is it wasn't immediate to a large group of people because you still haven't got the check. So the IRS, as of right now, they know how time sensitive this check is. It's needed. Congress or Democrats promised this check that it was going to come, it will be immediate, and it's going to provide immediate relief to you and your family. Well, here's what we know. It is because of all the stuff that is currently happening that we are seeing, things delayed, moved, changed, and this is one of the things that we know as of right now. We know the IRS was initially planning on doing their income tax returns, sending out stimulus checks, and then they had to figure out the child tax credit. Well, the child tax credit got pushed back because, or it's probably going to be pushed back because the tax deadline got pushed back a month. Well, being that got pushed back, what we also are seeing is now the stimulus checks are not being pushed. That's the one thing that is actually being prioritized over anything else, which means based off the statements that we got today, the IRS is going to be working on tax refunds after the stimulus checks have been sent out. So if you are planning on and hoping to get a federal income tax return, a rebate check, just understand that is most likely going to be put on hold. You will most likely have to wait until possibly the middle to end of April before you start seeing that. Now, as far as the stimulus checks, the $1,400, that is a good update because that means the IRS is prioritizing stimulus checks over the tax return at this point. If you are hoping for a tax return and a stimulus check, at this point, you're like, okay, well, just send me something. Send me something. So what I can tell you right now, and just a short while ago, we got word that the IRS is going to be sending out the unemployment tax rebate checks sometime in May. In May. We are not even in April, and they're already saying we're going to get those out in May. So we're about a month away from that, just from the beginning of May. Well, here's what I can tell you. That is actually good news, because by them pushing that back, by them saying that we will send out tax rebates, refunds soon, but we are prioritizing the stimulus checks, that just means that, okay, they are prioritizing the stimulus checks. So hopefully you will get one. Now, one of the reasons why the unemployment rebates won't go out right away is simply because they are prioritizing the stimulus checks, but the refunds are going to go out. We know you don't have to do anything else. You do not have to go and amend your taxes. The IRS will figure it out. I think they're smart enough to do it. Hopefully they're smart enough to do it, and they can send you this check as quickly as possible. And again, hopefully it's going to happen in May. This means that The IRS is serious. According to many reports just a few hours ago, the IRS is serious that the checks will be out on April 7th. A lot of people keep saying that no, they're going to be sent out by April 7th. That is not the case. The IRS has been very specific, and the Treasury as well, on April 7th. That's the date. And that would be for direct deposit, and that would be for the direct express cards as well. If you're getting a paper check or a prepaid debit card, according to reports just a little while ago, that those have already been sent out. So you should be seeing them either in your mailbox now, or they could be coming next week. But the direct express card and the direct deposit for your stimulus check, that should happen on April 7th. So just keep that in mind. Now, here's the other thing. We also know that with getting these payments out quickly, okay, this is going to allow the IRS to get on the 2020 tax returns a little bit sooner. And they have to do that because if they don't, it's going to delay everything else that's kind of following in line. So if you are expecting a refund check, then the middle to end of April is probably the most likely scenario at this point. Many people have already commented on my channel saying that they have been waiting since February to get their refund check, and they still haven't heard anything. It's still processing. So let me know down in the comment section below if you are still waiting on your refund check, or have you actually received it from your federal income taxes, not from the unemployment income, because that obviously right now hasn't actually been affected, because they're going to start sending those out in May. So let me know down in the comment section below. I'd be interested to read how many people have actually seen a delay in their tax refund checks. Now, what is the problem currently being discussed surrounding this $2.5 trillion infrastructure bill, or what they are actually calling the American Jobs Plan? Here's what we know. Democrats are already upset that President Biden and the Biden administration doesn't want to pass a bipartisan bill. Excuse me, not Democrats. Republicans are upset that they don't want to pass a bipartisan bill. Republicans are saying that if President Biden was serious, he would not have included all those tax hikes. And he would have proposed a bill that is far less than $2.5 trillion. Some are saying, why would we spend $2.5 trillion on infrastructure, but we spent $1.9 trillion on the kind of rescue, the relief bill, or the stimulus package that many of us are currently calling it, of $1.9 trillion. So even though no Republican voted for the $1.9 trillion stimulus package, there's one that says, why would we spend more on infrastructure and not try to get back the economy that we once had through relief payments? I thought this was very odd. Why would somebody say that when really you didn't vote for it anyway? So why does it matter? Now, we also know that the U.S. Progressive Caucus, they came out with a statement today, and they're very upset. They're happy with the way we're moving forward. They say it's the step in the right direction. However, they are, and this is a collective group, okay? It's a collective group. It's not just one person. But the U.S. Progressive Caucus is saying that they're a little bit upset that President Biden didn't go larger in size and scale. That's an exact quote for them, size and scale. That's what they want. They also go on to say that President Biden is only pushing forward with roughly half the amount that he initially promised when he was running for president just a short time ago. But here's one thing that I thought was also interesting is they're calling him out for going back on his word of what he promised during his campaign. But that's also what a lot of you guys have said as well, is what about the $200 per month that he promised people for that are on Social Security? When's that going to be talked about? When's that going to be discussed? Well, nobody's ever talked about that. Nobody's really mentioning that at this point. So they also go on to say that they want to see a single ambitious package. They do not want to split this package just because he's trying to get Republicans on board. So progressives have a lot to say on this. They want to see a substantial change and they want to increase it. But then we know we have some centrist Democrats that are already not happy with how much the Biden administration is proposing. They want to see something a little bit cheaper, or not really cheaper, but they don't want to spend as much. And even though there's going to be, it's going to be very close between the amount of the deficit versus the new taxes that they're going to bring in. So they're kind of going to offset each other. But they currently say it makes them wonder how this bill will ever get done if some are wanting it to be a little bit less, others want it to be a little bit more, and they're all Democrats. That's the issue we're kind of seeing. And then, who cares about the Republican side at this point? Because honestly, they're going to do this through a budget reconciliation. They're going to try to do this through a budget reconciliation, but they have to get the Senate parliamentarian on board. And I don't know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. The problem right now is the Senate can only lose, or the Democrats can only lose 3 votes in the House, and this bill will not pass. If they lose 4, the bill will not pass in the House. And in the Senate, they can only lose 0 votes. 0 votes. If they lose one single Democrat, because chances are Republicans not going to jump on board with this, then yes, the bill will not pass, and they will not go to a tiebreaker vote, which Vice President Harris would be the one to do that, which we know she would obviously vote in favor of this American Jobs Plan. So that's kind of what we're hearing right now. But some experts are saying that this is going to be very difficult to pass. This is going to be a long, drawn-out negotiation, not just between not just between Republicans and Democrats, but between Democrats themselves is going to be difficult. So we'll see. We also know Democrats want to see this bill pass before Congress goes on their August recess, which would be ideal, but they go on their August recess at the beginning of August. I have a tough time seeing this get done with where we stand right now. But again, things, crazier things have happened, so we will see. We're just going to have to wait and see how the negotiation really plays out between Republicans and Democrats, and then obviously the progressives and the more centrist Democrats as well. Now, here's the big news that I want to address, and I want to say this because I think this is where a lot of people are wondering what's going to happen. Here's what we know. France is going to be locking down the entire country. This is according to Emmanuel Macron from France. He stated that on Saturday that a new lockdown, this is I think their 3rd or 4th lockdown they have done, and this is going to be a preventative measure in order to prevent a 3rd wave of cases. He said today that this is going to last 3 weeks and is going to include closing down schools completely. Children will be able to attend a virtual learning, which is pretty much what we've been doing here in the United States and pretty much everywhere across the world as well. But this is going to begin Saturday. It's going to go on for 3 weeks. However, there are some areas in France that have already been closed down. Paris is one of those locations. And I wanted to bring this to your attention because just the other day, our CDC director, she was very upset. She was distraught. She was scared as to what might happen. She said that she doesn't want to see this virus overwhelm us again. She doesn't want to see this turn into a lot more hospitalizations. And we're starting to get out of this. We're starting to see the numbers decline. The problem is they're starting to actually increase. They came down, then we hit spring break. As soon as we got to spring break, then the numbers started to increase. And that's the issue. That is currently the issue right now I don't know if she's really alluding to this, but a lot of experts, a lot of health experts are saying that it's spring break. Spring break is the issue. Spring break is the main cause for the numbers increasing. Well, here's what we know here in the United States. It's not just spring break for many people now and even next week, but it's Easter weekend this weekend. It's Easter weekend. So, do you think a lot of people are going to gather and the numbers are going to increase? It's inevitable. It's going to happen. And this is where experts are currently saying that now is not the breaking point. Now is just the beginning. We are going to see over the next 2, 3, possibly 4 weeks, the numbers are going to be back to where they once were, maybe about a month to 2 months ago. And that's scary. If we see those numbers, that is scary. Chances are, and like President Biden has already asked, he wants to see all governors, all mayors, all local authorities, he wants to see them put in a mask mandate. Stick to wearing the mask, social distance, things like that. So we'll see. But here's what we know. Experts are saying that, yes, it is helping that many people are currently getting vaccinated. However, they are not getting vaccinated fast enough. We need more people to opt into this vaccination. Experts say they don't believe we will be out of the woods until we reach herd immunity. However, even Dr. Fauci says this might not even be possible because we still have to get children. We still have to get the people that are not wanting to get vaccinated. We still have to get them vaccinated as well, which could be a very tall task. So what I can tell you, as of right now, just be cautious. Make sure you stay up to date on everything that we're currently going through, not just here in the United States, but all across the world as well. Because what we do know is just because we here in the United States have this, under control, and we don't really have it under control yet. But even if we did, if other countries, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, Europe, right, China, France, whatever, right, it doesn't matter. If any other countries are starting to see increased cases, we need to be aware of that, because chances are that it just takes one person to come into the country and then spread it, whether it's a variant or anything else. It just takes one person. That's where it all started. Okay? It all started, and here in Washington State, it started in, I believe, Kirkland, Washington, a little over a year ago. So it's interesting. It is a very tough situation to be in, but right now, we just got to be safe. We just got to be aware of what's currently happening. So as I know more, I promise I will fill you in, keep you updated on everything that's going on. All I ask, click that subscribe button down below. Also, if you can, hit that like button. It just helps out the video and helps out the channel. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.